So for this final video, we're going to review how Project Assist uses the Road Resheet option within the Workflow Manager. So we're going to run Project Assist. We're going to confirm that the alignment usage is as we need it to be. The first thing we will do is go up to the tools, click on Set Thread Name. I'm going to call this Road Resheet and click OK. This means that the workflow that is undertaken can be rerun again and again if we make any design changes. We are going to check that this is a road resheet project. Now, when we ran the road widening project, the saw cut alignments left and right and the EB alignments, or the widening alignments left and right, were both removed because they were bundled into this particular project. The saw cut codes left and right are actually optional, so they do not have to be added in as part of this particular process, but we're going to leave them in and have a variation control their position. Just simply, they're going to be positioned onto an alignment. The thickness value here will be very important when it comes to reviewing the vertical design of our road. We're going to click on Compute. We're going to close down the PDF, and we're going to open up the design data form for our road. So we can already see that yes, the template's being applied. The variations that are being applied are very similar to the variations that are applied when we're not running either the road widening or the road resheet. All that's happening is that the codes are being positioned onto nominated alignments left and right. This is for the edge of bitumen and for the saw cut. You can see they're simply maintaining their slope and being projected onto the alignment. So we'll have a look at the cross section to see how this is working. And we'll just make this cross section a little bit smaller. So you can see there the template has a 2% crossfall all the way through, and that is being maintained. So what exactly is the software doing? Let's have a look at the vertical design. So the vertical design, clearly something has happened, but what has happened? Let's have a look at Auto Profile, and in Auto Profile we have an entry. We're going to review that entry by clicking on the pencil icon. So if you haven't seen this before, this is called Resheet, and it originates from this particular button here. In its most simplest form, Resheet will allow us to have a minimum overlay depth on our design, and the software will adjust the vertical design to maintain that. So if we just move this over to one side, this is a 30mm layer of subgrade, okay, which is all the way through. If we provide an extents for this calculation, which in this case is the widen left alignment, which is this one here, and the widen right alignment, which is this one here, the software will use those to determine the extents of this 30mm overlay. So you can see here that we have exactly 30mm between the REB code and the sample surface, which is basically our minimum overlay depth. So this is what the software will do. We provide it with the alignments either side. It will interpolate the surface, maintain the crossfall all the way through, but always offer us that minimum of 30mm. So we can go in and adjust that value, including adjust it at the start when we were working on the workflow. Let's click OK. Let's click on Close. Now, there are some useful ways in which you can use the resheet. So for example, if you did want to change the vertical design in any way, you can actually apply a design constraint which shows you where the resheet would be positioned. To do that, you can actually, within the Design Constraints tab button on the Design Data Form, click on Add, click on Resheet, click on OK, and we'll say yes, use the resheet please, click on Add Update. Now visually you're not seeing any difference in the vertical grading editor. However, if I move one of these IPs up or down, yes, I'm making adjustments to the vertical design, and yes, I'm overriding the auto profile, but now this is giving me some context to know that if I'm actually below this elevation, I'm not going to be achieving my minimum 30mm overlay. So all I'm going to do is go back to auto profile, click on Apply and Exit to rerun. The resheet option is actually the best suited option for this particular project, maintaining that one-way crossfall whilst obtaining a minimum overlay depth of 30mm.